Much has been said about the purpose of this bill, and I thank the Minister responsible for this bill, the Honourable Simon Power, and wish him good luck. I look forward to his valedictory. As my colleague Charles Javal has said earlier, that this bill is about scrutiny. What is worth noting is one particular piece of legislation, New Zealand Superannuation and Retirement Income Act 2001 and the Social Security Act 1964, which came into force on the 1st April 2011. This particular order is validated and confirmed. It, amongst other things, increased most benefits, pensions and allowances. Under this national government, there are more people on the benefit. The number of people receiving an unemployment benefit has increased by 10.6%. And the student hardship was up 234% from June 2011. Since June 2009, 40,481 more people are now recipients of New Zealand superannuation, and this number is undoubtedly only going to go up in the coming years. Mr. Speaker, talking about the superannuation, I wish to bring to the attention of this House two important and meaningful articles by Brian Gaynor. The first one was published in the New Zealand Herald in 2007, is how Modern threw away New Zealand's wealth. And the second one, Keys Compulsory Super Talk, Music to Ears, was published in August 2010, also in the New Zealand Herald. Both articles touched upon very important issues concerning our superannuation funds and schemes. Let's look at the Australian and New Zealand figures on a per capita basis. Australians have 56,000 Australian dollars of superannuation funds, whereas New Zealanders have just 5,500 New Zealand dollars. Australians have 29,200 Australian dollars of net overseas debt, while we have 35,900 New Zealand dollars. The irony is, Mr. Speaker, we once had a fantastic and better superannuation scheme which was terminated by a national government in 1975. And I quote from that article, "This was the worst economic decision by any New Zealand government in the past 50 years and turned the country from being a potential Switzerland of the Southern Hemisphere into a low-ranking OECD country that is falling further and further behind its next-door neighbour," close quote. If the New Zealand superannuation scheme was still in place, Mr. Speaker, I believe New Zealand would be much better placed in this modern and ever-changing world. Since coming to the office, this national government has borrowed 37 billion New Zealand dollars in less than 3 years and delivered no growth for it. In fact, it has repeatedly failed to meet its growth projections, and GDP per capita has fallen. That failure has now resulted in the credit rating agencies downgrading our credit rating. I'd like to quote what Prime Minister John Key said before the budget. And Prime Minister John Key confidently predicated that the political humiliation of a downgrade would be avoided. And I quote, "It would add 1 to 2% of interest on the amount the government borrows, which is around $600 million each year. That's every homeowner, every business, everybody paying 2% more. That would be irresponsible, in my view, for the government not to act." Close quote. Mr. Speaker, this is the last sitting week of this 49th Parliament, reflecting what the ever-popular national government has achieved, it is fair for me to list the following facts: that national government has borrowed more debts, created less jobs, frozen the superannuation fund, it has no real plan to grow our economy, and the only answer it has is to resort to selling our family silver. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I call to your oath level.